Chapter 1. You are chosen. You grow up near the Playtime Company factory, and from the outside, it looks like a place where happiness is manufactured for millions of children. The giant pipes hum day and night, and that sound becomes part of your life long before you understand what is really happening inside the walls. Every toy store in the city proudly displays a smiling box with one name printed across it: Poppy. People say the factory is the greatest achievement of the brilliant inventor Elliot Ludwig. But the older you get, the more often you notice doors inside the factory that never open for ordinary workers. You start hearing quiet conversations about laboratories hidden far beneath the main production floors. Late at night, freight elevators move equipment that doesn't look like toy parts at all. Engineers whisper about a revolutionary project that will redefine the future of toys. That's when you first hear the strange name, Bigger Bodies Initiative. They say it's about building larger, more advanced toys. But toys don't need operating tables, and toys don't need human volunteers. Some employees disappear after being transferred to research divisions. Others return changed, quieter, and unwilling to talk about what they saw. Internal reports begin mentioning words like behavioral adaptation and consciousness transfer. You slowly realize Playtime Company is trying to create something more than toys. They are trying to create life. One day, your name appears on a list for a special project. They tell you that you are a perfect candidate. They promise a promotion and an opportunity to be part of history. You sign the papers faster than you should. Security escorts lead you through corridors with no windows and no visitors. The deeper you go underground, the colder the air becomes. Massive steel doors close behind you with unsettling finality. The room you enter is illuminated by a single surgical light. A metal table waits in the center. Doctors prepare instruments without saying a word. You realize too late that this is not a test. A mask lowers over your face, and darkness begins to swallow the room. The last thing you hear is a voice saying a number, not your name. Experiment 1006. Chapter 2. You become the prototype. You wake up in a laboratory that smells like metal and antiseptic. Your body feels heavier than before, unfamiliar and wrong. When you try to move, you hear the grinding sound of machinery instead of muscles. Scientists watch you from behind reinforced glass. They whisper one word to each other: prototype. You quickly understand that you are their greatest achievement and their greatest mistake. They expected strength. They expected obedience. They did not expect intelligence. You begin listening to every conversation around you. You memorize the layout of the laboratory. You learn the schedules of the guards. And most importantly, you learn the fears of the people who created you. In nearby containment rooms, you see other experiments. Some resemble toys. Some resemble nightmares. One of them towers above the rest. Huggy Wuggy. You realize the factory is building an entire generation of living toys. But most of them are simple. Strong, but simple. They follow commands. You do not. The scientists believe they are studying you. In reality, you are studying them. You watch how they control the other experiments. You observe their weaknesses. Slowly, you begin communicating with the others. Some of them start listening to you. And Playtime Company still believes they are in control. Chapter 3. The Hour of Joy. You wait. Years pass while the factory continues expanding. New experiments are created again and again. Some are loyal to the humans. Others begin to question them. You speak quietly to the ones who will listen. You tell them the truth about why they were created. You tell them the truth about what the scientists did. One experiment in particular becomes completely devoted to you: catnap. Through him, your influence spreads across the factory. You teach the experiments patience. You teach them silence. And you teach them to remember. Eventually, the perfect day arrives. The factory is full of employees and visitors. Children laugh in demonstration halls. Workers run production lines at full speed. Nobody notices the experiments moving differently that morning. Doors begin locking throughout the building. Emergency systems fail. Panic spreads through the corridors. The experiments turn on their creators. Screams echo across the factory floors. Later, survivors will give that day a name: the Hour of Joy. Humans try to escape the building, but the exits are already sealed. The factory becomes a maze of terror, and from the darkness you watch everything unfold, because this was never chaos. It was your plan. Chapter 4. The Puppet Master. After the massacre, the factory falls silent, but it is never truly empty. The experiments remain inside its endless corridors, and you remain at the center of it all. Over time, you begin collecting pieces from destroyed experiments, metal limbs, mechanical parts, anything that can make you stronger. Slowly, you rebuild yourself into something far greater than the scientists imagined. The factory becomes your territory. You know every hallway, every hidden elevator, every ventilation tunnel. Years later, someone returns to the factory. A former employee searching for answers. You watch them through cameras and broken speakers. You understand something important about humans. Fear can guide them better than force. So you speak to them through the phone system. You introduce yourself with a different name. Ollie. You guide them deeper into the factory, through puzzles, through traps, through encounters with the remaining experiments. They believe you are helping them survive. They never realize they are moving exactly where you want them to go, because the entire factory is now a chessboard. Every experiment is a piece, and you are the one making the final move.